Hello and welcome to the very first episode of this new podcast show, Libnanie with Elie. And as you may have guessed it by now, my name is Elie. How are you guys doing today? It's raining here in Sydney right now, so you may hear some gentle ASMR in the background. But look, we've been in lockdown for months, so it is what it is. This is my first ever podcast, and it feels a bit funny speaking to myself. I don't know about you, but do you also cringe when you hear yourself on a recording? I think I read somewhere that there's some science behind it. We don't actually know how we sound when we talk or sing. And to be honest with you, that is a bit concerning. Sometimes I think I sound like Elvis Presley. No, I sound like a disgruntled old man who's not getting enough sleep. Before I continue going off on a tangent, I should tell you guys a bit about myself and let you guys in on what this whole show is going to be about and what I have in store for you. So, I'm Elie. I'm 24 years old. I'm of Lebanese descent and I was born and raised in Sydney, Australia, hence the accent. I'm also a graduate lawyer and freelance journalist. I also like long walks on the beach, short walks to the fridge, and all things Lebanese. Before we go any further, for those who are listening and don't know too much about Australia, I want to dispel some stereotypes. No, we do not keep kangaroos as pets or ride them to work, unless you want to go to jail. But I have to say they are very cute and I wish I could own one. Also, the whole deadly animals infesting Australia is a super exaggeration. Fun fact, over 230,000 people claimed they had some Lebanese ancestry, and over 76,000 Lebanese-born people live in Australia. Now, to tell you guys more about the whole premise of this show and how it started. The 2020 explosion in the middle of Beirut became synonymous with the word Lebanon on a global scale. Some of the people that I've spoken to who are not of Lebanese descent or don't have Lebanese heritage, they have a negative image of Lebanon. They think it's all bombs and war. And it's so painful. It's so sad to hear that as a Lebanese person myself. And I think this is what struck this idea in my mind to create a platform that focuses on the positive contributions made by Lebanese people and show the Lebanese potential on a global scale. I'm very passionate about this project and very determined to shine a light and promote the rich and diverse Lebanese heritage, culture, traditions, and community. I think we have enough negative news and depressing news out there of Lebanon, and rightfully so. I mean, a journalist's role is to report the truth. And unfortunately, Lebanon is going through a lot of ugly truths at the moment that needs to be reported on to inform the world of the corruption that is happening in Lebanon. But there is also space for positive news at the table. And it's necessary to have a program that focuses and embraces the positive strides made by Lebanese people and the positive stories that come out of Lebanon and the Lebanese community. I believe that there is a lot of trauma, and this idea of mental health is still very much a stigma among the Lebanese community. Intergenerational trauma has passed through generations since the Lebanese Civil War, and there's never been a real closure, there's never been a real recognition. And it's created this snowball effect of problems that continue to hit Lebanon. Last year, I attended a talk here in Sydney, which featured an amazing academic named Professor Ghassan Haj. He referenced material that described Lebanon as a abused mother in a domestic relationship with the father, which is represented by the state. And I think it's such a perfect analogy to what is going on. Lebanon, a victim at the hands of an abusive political system. And I, like many members of the Lebanese community, have been raised in a house where stories of wartime and trauma have been passed down onto me. And I am part of that family collective unconscious. We have to put mental health first. And it's important that positive news is displayed because we can be very influenced by the news and the things that we see and hear. And this is the whole aim of this show. I want to produce positive news. And I know I've said positive many times in this podcast, but this is the buzzword. This is the key word for this whole program. Now, with all that being said, I hope you can go on this journey with me and discover the incredible Lebanese people from around the world, from healthcare workers to writers, athletes to actors, and everything in between. I want to showcase the diverse and beautiful Lebanese community the right way. If you guys are interested in this project, please support by following me on Instagram, Facebook, and all those podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, you name it, at Libnanie with Elie. Let's discover what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it means to be a Libnani. This is Libnanie with Elie. I'm your host, Elie, and see you in the next episode.